Hi Divine Rebels, it's Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings, and today we are starting off on our Super Emotions series, how we can transmute our emotions that don't feel so useful to us or get us into some trouble into things that are more useful. Alright, so we're going to roll with it today. You may hear a little bit of background noise. That is the rain sounds for Baby Magic to sleep. If you don't like it, click off. Okay. It has been a very fire filled day, and that's why I'm starting off with anger and making that our superpower, because right now we have Mercury in Scorpio that is opposing Uranus in Taurus at the time of filming this, and that is aspects. Mercury Uranus aspects are ones that can show temper in the chart. Mars Mercury connections, there's a few different ones that can do that. We also have Aquarius moon today squaring Uranus and Taurus and Mercury and Scorpio, so we have this little configuration going, and there's been little bouts of people expressing their temper. People, you know, of course with this energy it's mixed in. Quite often we feel frustrated and feel angry when people are overstepping our boundaries. So that is the big thing that I learned. I had a lot of Aries in my chart, and I had to learn how to embrace fire. And part of embracing the element of fire and learning it, and if you're a true, you know, magical worker or spiritual practitioner, we have to know all different elements. It's like a painter ignoring, you know, red and orange. You know, okay, I guess they could have their own unique style, but are they going to be a full-fledged, you know, painter, really know their craft if they don't experiment with all the different shades of colors, right? And so that's the same energy that comes into play with our emotions. And I really had a hard time with anger, and like most of us, I saw it in negative examples of it growing up, right? And negative power plays and just very fearful and kind of violent situations. And I think for a lot of us, that's how we come to learn about anger and experience it, and it becomes something that either we might wield in a negative way or that we are terrified of and we shy away from. There's also the connotation that to be angry is to be a bad person, right? It's a control mechanism passed down by dictators, and it's a very effective one. You also see that in you know, anywhere from religion, politics, schools. You also see that for particular races, right? So as a Black woman, sometimes, for instance, when I tell white tarot readers to stop ripping off my stuff, one of their responses is well, you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't have told me in an angry way. You shouldn't have done this, and to try to paint the big, violent, angry person, right? So it can be many different places in our demographics. For instance, those who are feminine identified are quite often not allowed to express anger in certain ways, whereas the masculine is almost pushed to do it in violent ways. So there's so much healing, you know, at our different intersections and crossroads that we could be coming to this reading to experience and to learn how to be empowered through our anger and our emotions. Yes, looking at your astrology, I do highly suggest that you want to look at your Mars most prominently. Okay, and again, yes, because the mind and the emotions, you can check any aspects that Uranus and Mars are making around your chart. Pluto as well can be very triggering. So if you see that around your Mars, your Mercury, those can be indicators of how you tend to become angry and how you utilize your anger. Mars will let us know what triggers us, the kind of things that we want to express or clap back about. And it can also show us because Mars shows us what we want to defend and protect, right? First house placements can also show anger concerns, and depending on where we have them, everybody has times where they'll be angry. Some people have a lot more of that emotion in their life. Some people it's more subtle, but it doesn't mean that quiet anger is probably more deadly, if not less, than loud anger sometimes. So, you know, basically here, we're not going to make judgments on our expression of it. We're definitely just going to work on empowering ourselves through it. So myself, I had a long journey, and I ended up constantly calling fire signs into my life until I, not always in the positive expression, until I learned how to use the better forms of fiery energy in a positive way, and until I learned to accept my anger. You know, anger is something that I've used to combat oppression. something that I've used to as protection. And I look up and I see the word protection right now. Something that I've used to assert my boundaries and to, you know, have clarity for others on how they are allowed to treat me and how they are not allowed. And so reclaiming that emotion for me, and instead of having terror be there and having, no, I feel angry about this. And because my anger, this is what I literally did, y'all. I sat down and I made 2 cups of tea. And I said, anger, I want you to sit right here across from me and we're going to have a discussion. And I got out my notebook and I communicated with anger just like I would channel like a spirit or something. I said, okay, I want you to talk to me. I have not been listening to you. I've been terrified of you. I've been frustrated with you. I want you to tell from my life, you know, and in general, teach me, what is anger here for? And my anger told me, anger tells us where our boundaries have been crossed or where we have crossed the boundaries of others. That's what anger is about. It's about an alert of protection and defense that we need to have. Now, sometimes, you know, because of wounds, we can be overly triggered and there's no reason to be so defensive, right? And other times it is so valid, it is sickening, right? And everybody's anger can come in different shades. Some people cry, some people yell, some people get quiet. Again, you can see by your Mars sign quite often in your Mars placements how you react when you're angry. So this is just some of the talks and some of the things that I've learned that I wanted to share and just start a dialogue. Please feel free to discuss down below, and we can definitely get more into astrological discussions as well. If you guys want me to do an astrology video, like I said, I'm just as much, if not more, known as an astrologer as I am a tarot reader. I just haven't done as much on this channel. So I would love to do like a Mars video talking about, you know, the different Mars signs when they're angry and how they express and what triggers them and what's a good relief and how to soothe that and, you know, be empowered through that. So if you're interested, definitely let me know down below, and feel free to drop your Mars sign or just any of your experiences. If you just want, you know, sometimes with Mars, I feel like we need to confess that we're angry, that we're upset. We need to confess maybe the negative habits that we're doing to cope with that anger. We need to talk about how our power has been taken from us. Sometimes we need to express those things with anger and Mars. So feel free to do so in the comments, okay? So now I'm gonna just, you know, have you guys, I'm gonna have 4 options. You guys can see whatever comes up. Those were just some of my personal tidbits, and I could talk much more at length on this subject, and maybe we'll talk about it on a live or in the comments and key further. But I do want to just let the cards speak to you directly and tell each group, for you personally at this moment, how can you make anger your superpower and transmute this energy into something that is not harming you or others in a negative way in your life. Okay, so for number 1, we have this super cute lion. Baby Magic gave it to me while we're on live, and I was talking about how with the current astrology, right, Mercury in Scorpio, Moon in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, there's almost a grand square, but there's no Leo energy. So right now, if you're currently watching this, that's, people could be angry because they don't feel heard or seen, or they want attention, right, on top of all this other energy. But baby knows that Leo's the lion, and she gave me that little lion, which is so cute. Number 2 is the seashell here. Number 3 is the selenite half. Yes, that is our gorgeous selenite moon sphere that I was gonna scry on a video for you guys for, and baby loves to play with it. I have cute pictures of her playing with it, and then it dropped and it's broken in some pieces. So that's number 3. It's still glorious though. It's a half moon. Number 4, excuse me, is that rattle there. So those are the options. 1 is the lion, 2 is the seashell, 3 is the selenite sphere, and 4 is the rattle. And in the back we have pumpkins. Baby Magic put them up here too, on the recording stage. And so yeah, it's contributing to the video today. So I'm gonna go ahead and meet you on your timestamps, and we'll see how you can make anger your superpower. Right, for those of you that chose number 1, which is that cute lion over there, I'm just going to leave them up there today. This is probably going to be a bit of a quickie. Let's see, I'm going to use these cards. They are Ouija playing cards, don't freak out, y'all. So how can group 1 make anger their superpower? We have the 2 of clubs, we have the King of Swords, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. We're also going to get some tarot back here. How can option 1, the lion, make anger their superpower? We have the Queen of Pentacles here, and I'm going to grab a couple more from the mystical manga. How can number 1, lion, those who chose the lion, make anger their superpower? Okay, we're back. I had some lunch deliveries come, and that is one way to get rid of anger, is to stop being angry, y'all. I didn't eat it yet because I need to film for you guys while baby's sleeping, so that's how much I love y'all. Don't say I never did any. No, just it's an ordinary day. Okay, so what we have for you is 6 of Cups reversed, 6 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Clubs, King of Swords, 8 of Diamonds, and the Queen of Pentacles, the Throne of Sanctuary. So for you, those of you that chose this cute little lion here, how do you make anger your superpower? The first step is detaching it from past life energies and from early life energies, okay? Sometimes we can feel so valid in feeling something because we went through some shit in the past life, or because of, you know, this origins, this programming from childhood. And I know that's like literally the hardest stuff to break off, because sometimes you think you're good, right? And then you have a child, or you catch yourself around certain people and you're like, oh my God, I sound like so-and-so. Wow. Like, I never thought I'd sound like that, especially if you were the one on the receiving end of it. You're like, where is this coming from? What the hell is going on? So it's saying that some of you might hide a lot of your anger because you're afraid of that. Like, you're like, I'm one or the other. I'm either the chillest person in the world, or I've got a temper that can just sizzle you on the spot. And so you could be afraid of that. And it's saying you have to find more balance. There's going to be times that you're valid to be angry as hell, and there's going to be other times where it's doing too much. And you have to allow yourself to start trying to find that balance, because if you don't, you're never gonna find the balance of it, right? Anger is an active emotion. It's something that needs to be expressed or have some kind of concrete outlet to it. It usually does not work well being internalized the way certain other emotions can. Actually, I heard a psychologist say that anger or depression is anger turned inward when we hold it within, okay? So some of you even have swinging emotions in the realm of depression and things of that nature, because, and like self-doubt, maybe even self-harm, because of this internalizing of anger and not wanting to fortify yourself on the outside or assert boundaries, or because of that fear of hurting others, you just hold it within and hurt yourself, okay? So it's saying it's time to learn to interact with others when you are angry in a way that's healthy and helpful, though, okay? And helpful does not always mean they like it, but it means that it's getting the point across. It's doing the balancing of the situation that's needed, okay? And it also means here I'm seeing that you also have to work on allowing others to express their anger to you when they feel it, because that could be something that a lot of you could very easily withdraw into yourself and go into that no, I'm too vulnerable kind of place when you upset someone else, okay? So a good example is I had a Pisces friend. I'm Pisces, y'all. She has Aquarius moon and Mars, and Venus and Aries in the 5th house, okay? So when she, and Sag rising, when she would be angry, you'd hear about it. She had a secret online blog she'd go and vent on. She'd message all her friends. She'd go on and on and on, right? Talk, be very angry, very flamboyant about it. But when she did something, she would withdraw, and she would use that detachment and that, like, no, I'm too fragile, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to deal with it thing, right? And then me being Pisces, I knew about it. My Scorpio placements were like, nah, we're going to talk about this. We ain't got to have a fight, but we're going to talk about it, right? And she would shut down and refuse to do so. So some of you have that defense mechanism, and as long as there's mechanisms happening like that, you're not getting in front of your anger. You're not using it as an empowerment. It's still having some control over you, okay? So it's time to be more above board when you're angry, and when other people are angry too, and let them discuss that with you, and know that it doesn't mean that they're more powerful because they're angry or able to express that. It doesn't mean that they're automatically right, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong or less powerful, things of that nature, because there is an open discussion about things that people are frustrated with, okay? There can also be the need to listen to if you trigger things in others that is stemming from their childhood, because some of you are like, I don't care, whatever, that wasn't my issue. But then ironically, you have your own concerns that are stemming from childhood, right? So that could be why. Usually with anger, we don't want to deal with what we feel like we can't already internally deal with. We don't want to hear it from other people, right? It's one of those kind of, Aries is ruled by Mars, right? Aries don't want to hear it. If they can't deal with it themselves, they ain't gonna try to hear yours, right? And that's kind of a vibe that can be here. So this is one of those that the more you allow others to work through situations that they're frustrated and angry in, and the more that you are open to that, the more you heal yourself. So earlier in the intro, I talked about how, for instance, my race, or coming where I'm coming from, puts me in different marginalized groups with anger, and how I am allowed to use it by society, and how I am demonized for using it, right? And so some of you, like, you judge other people how they use their anger. Oh, well, they shouldn't riot just because their children died because they were poisoned with water. Oh, they shouldn't riot because the police, you know, you might judge how other people express their anger, how other people come to defend themselves, and that is reflecting within you that you are not empowered with your own anger, right? I see that quite often. When people don't feel empowered with their anger, they will try to control how other people use their anger because they feel out of control. And I've learned that now. So now when people are trying to control me, I say, oh, you're out of control, or oh, you're someone who uses anger in a mean, nasty way. Because people who use anger in a healthy way, they understand that if I'm saying, hey, look, I'm mad about this, they're like, you know what, I can understand why you would, I can understand that you have that emotion. It's not like you're a horrible person, you're not enlightened because you have anger, So some of you have to work on your definition of anger. And like, for instance, some of you, if someone came to you and they were angry about something, you wouldn't help them. Or you kind of have that association, right? And you might treat yourself that way. Well, unless I'm perfect and, acting like a cherubim, I must not deserve to have good things. I must not deserve to have help. It's like, no, if someone came and purposely hit your car and then chewed you out in front of your kid, you deserve to be angry, and you deserve to have justice whether or not you're mad about it, okay? So working on those kind of thoughts and those kind of programmings that you have, that anger does not equal villain, that anger doesn't equal the more powerful in the situation. It's an expression. It's people communicating. It's a way to communicate. It's an exchange. I'm also seeing for you guys, you have to work on not holding other people's anger. So basically what I'm getting, when you play hot potato, it's like when have you ever seen the kids playing hot potato? They're so scared to play it, they just catch it and they can't move. Oh no, it's so hot. Like you're playing, it's really hot. You really be thinking it's hot. Oh no, it's so hot. It's so hot. And then there's the kid that's so terrified of receiving the hot potato from someone else. They're so afraid someone's gonna throw it at them that when they get it, they just freeze and they just hold it. And you're like, you're burning, you're out. That's how some of you are with anger. You are so afraid of angry situations and confrontation from other people that when they express it, you hold it, you grab it like that hot potato, you freeze, you internalize it, you feel it in your stomach, and you add it to your own, grudges and frustrations and stuff within. And then you're like, oh my God, how am I going to release this energy? And it just makes you feel guilty or sick or depressed or, So again, sometimes it's not that the person that's expressing anger is bad and bad vibrations. It's that you don't know how to not suck up that energy. That's the bad vibration. It's their anger. Let them express it. That's healthy. What can be negative is when we think we have to drink it up and own other people's emotions, that we have to overly be a part of that emotion or control it or ingest it, okay? Because that goes from being an empath into like psychic vampire stuff, right? So we have to watch that thin line there. And so releasing that and realizing, now some of you, it was because you were programmed that way, survival things, okay? Some of you could definitely be Pisces moons. Water moons are usually programmed to do that by their parents, to eat up, the unseedy emotions that the people around them don't want to deal with, or that's that can be a big problem with a lot, not all water moons, but for a lot of them, they dealt with that in childhood. A lot of Scorpio placements have that, where they were meant to be, kind of the scapegoat, and a lot of Aries placements have that too, which is why they get to the point they don't care if people are angry, because they had to build up that defense mechanism, right? So that's a thing to think about as well. Now, in the next set of cards here, we have the Two of Clubs, the King of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here is anger is going to help you make your decisions. It's saying anger, you know that Think Smart meme? I'm just seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson give you a little smug smile, right? Anger is going to help you be about your business, because we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Diamonds here. So it is good if you, okay, for instance, people jacking my stuff on here, even with my new spooktacular terracular series, right? People thinking that no matter how much you express yourself, they can steal and take from you, or take your position, or, you know, abuse their authority. Some of you have that in your careers, and it can help you make moves. Some of you have this with networking, with friend groups and stuff. You're like, man, no matter what, like, I try to express to people that I'm upset or put my boundaries, things aren't okay, and now I feel mad all the time. That's going to lead you in your directions. The Two of Clubs is the Two of Wands. It's our free will. Yourself, your higher self, is going to tell you through your anger if a person is worth your time or not, if a place is deserving to have you work for it, if somebody deserves to be connected to your business. If you feel yourself being angry because they're biting your shit, they don't listen to you, they're, you know, whatever it is. Yeah, the video got full, so I took some bites of my taco. Yes, because I had to offload it, y'all, onto the computer. So, your business, your life plan, it's like, look at how, see this, how precious this person is being with that plant. Like, if someone was coming and just trying to smash up that plant, steal all the soil, because, like, imagine that. You're sitting there with this potted plant, and you're like, yeah, I would love to share the beauty of this potted plant. And then someone just comes, tries to dig in there, kill up the roots with a spade because they want to steal that dirt for their plant. Of course you would be defensive. Like, man, this is a life. Like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You know, and you see this person's very caring. There's like bird houses and stuff up there. There's also some crystal balls. They be knowing, you be knowing, okay? Your intuition is like a compass. It tells you left or right. It tells you continue this connection or cut off. Now, that doesn't mean every time that you get angry, of course, you're like, oh, I have to cut off this person. But you are someone, you could have good Scorpio placements like that, okay? Where Scorpio just knows. Like, we be knowing. And when it's time and someone's really on some BS, and they're like, there's discernment. That's the superpower. Boom. That's what it is. Your anger's superpower is discernment. And they want you to unpack these things and heal and become empowered in yourself so that you can utilize discernment, especially when it comes to your close relationships, your networking, and your business, okay? And your relationship with your children. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. We probably go into this series and dive in a little bit deeper on another one. Let me know if you would like that. And for now, I'm going to say ta-ta. All right, for those of you that chose number 2, what is your anger superpower? How do you make anger your superpower? I'm doing a little on-camera shuffle today, how I do on the lives. Let's go ahead and see what we can drum up. I'm gonna have 3 different decks here. Okay, ooh, it's flipping. Oh, and anger it is. Okay. Some of y'all already be knowing. You're like, I know I have a temper. We got Ace of Clubs, 2 of Spades, 5 of Spades. Let's go ahead and get the next set of cards here. Oop. Ten of Wands reversed, 9 of Swords reversed. And yours are just jumping the 2 of Cups. I felt like someone would get 2 of Cups. I don't know if you can see that. Let me move these down. Okay, I'll fix that in a minute once I get this one going. And your last card, these are big. We're going to do 1 card from the Next World Tarot. You got the Ace of Cups. You guys are like, I get pissed off because I love them so much. And this is not just about one person, although I think you would be the group that would try to make it about one person and about a particular relationship. But this is about you, boo boo. And that's the thing, because I think a lot of you, each time that you get into a relationship, you're like, well, it's just them because of this and that, or I would never be like this if it wasn't for them. And it's like, no, you have some anger concerns, we'll call them. Issues can be a triggering word, okay? We don't want to trigger this hot temper here. You do. Look, come on now. Some of you have fire Mercuries, Aries, Sag, or Leo Mercuries. Okay, or some of those aspects we talked about before in the intro. I feel like for a lot of you, you might have Mars in the 7th house or Mars in Libra, where your anger comes out is in your relationships. You could also have it in Pisces, Cancer, or the 4th or 12th houses. Basically, when you get into a relationship, bam, that's where you let the anger out. You might take it home to your partner, to those who are closer to you, and you feel like, well, you're supposed to be able to. That's where I should be able to let out my fears. That should be where I, de-stress and unburden and, debunk everything. But it's like, man, you can't put your anger on people like that, especially if they're feeling open-hearted. That's like if you say, well, I should be able to practice my black belt, but then like someone's sitting on the couch chilling and you're like, bam, bam, bam. That's not the way to do it, boo-boo. Okay, so people can find an argumentative nature here. And it's kind of back and forth though. So a lot of you might have, the passive aggressive Mars placements, Taurus, like I said, Libra, Cancer, Pisces, something like that, Virgo, where one minute it's like everything's good and the next minute it's like annihilation time because you got triggered and you're like, well, I need to deal with this, so we're going to talk about it and I'm going to bring this up because of my worries and my stress and my burdens, and I'm not going to be burdened. And you just kind of like massacre someone, but you're packaging it as if you are having like this discussion for the best interest of the relationship. It's definitely the hot iron fist in the velvet glove kind of energy, okay? And then you're like, would you like to sit for tea? I have water for that after you catch them ablaze. So how do we transmute this energy? The key for you guys is to be more protective of people than you are towards people, okay? I do feel like, there's kind of that nagging, strip you down to the core energy you can have when you care about people. And so instead of feeling like you are jointly or even with their permission working on people it's like, first of all, why are we working on people so hard, right? It's because of this feeling, like you have this feeling of, I'm going to be taken advantage of, or people are going to make me have to be the one worrying about things. Nothing's going to be taken care of. I'm not going to be heard. So let me go ahead and handle things this way. So I think that's when your anger comes out, okay? There can be a very nitpicky, nagging energy. Like I said, some can have Virgo, Mars, or placements. That's at the root of this, okay? I do feel a few Sagittarian placements too. It's like if things aren't going to be happy-go-lucky and just like I like it, and the big, dreamy lifetime that I want to have and the perfect experience, then I'm going to be more combative. I'm going to be bickering, and I'm going to, be in a little temper tantrum because I don't want to have to worry about the dynamics of the relationship. I don't want to have to talk about them in a peaceful, diplomatic way. It's like you guys will pitch it like you're the ones who are the diplomatic ones, right? But really that's not what's going on. Really what's going on is a full siege, and you are coming to seize the day, all right? And they're like, damn, you said you weren't angry. Like, what is going on? Why am I locked up right now? What is that device in your hand? Like, that's how people feel. Like, so the key is to be, just in general, it's so good that you're coming to her. And I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I feel like if we joke about it, we're like, oh, you're right. It burns. You got me. It kind of helps us to be able to process it. So that when we get into our personal situations, we can remember the reading, right? Oh, that's right. She was teasing me about that. Okay. Yep. I'm doing it. I hear it now. Okay. So that's why I do it like that, y'all. Because we're human. But I feel like this is a great series for you, because overall, how you make this your superpower is to recognize it as an emotion, because a lot of you don't recognize your anger, okay? Or you have unduly, wait, what am I trying to say? It ain't necessary, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. I still didn't finish my lunch. I'm hungry. My brain's hungry. When you're so hungry, your brain's hungry. It's so hungry. Anyways, I'm not gonna be hangry. I'm gonna be like, y'all, how you guys act? No, everything's fine. Everything is perfectly okay. Dun dun dun. That's y'all. Until the mask comes off, and then you're like raging, and everyone's like, wait. I don't know why I'm seeing someone try not to spill their cereal as they get out of your way. Like, it's just like out of nowhere. We was just gonna sit down and eat cereal, and now you coming for me. Put down the fork. Who eats cereal with a fork? You knew you was gonna be mad. Yeah, I'm just seeing like the goofiest scenarios, but I think that's how people feel. They're just like out the woodwork, like what is going on? And so I think some of you are like, no one takes me seriously, this is why I have to get so angry, or you know, that kind of thing. It's like, no, people take you serious. They're just like it's like nervous laughter. They don't know what you're feeling because you don't know what you're feeling. All right, or because there is unnecessary codependency, and so you're angry about, you know, their deepest thoughts and feelings they had for 0.2 seconds potentially about the relationship that you don't agree with because that's not what you want. And there's just like strange things like that. So it's like, pull out of everyone else's emotions. You got to cut that coat. You know why? Because sometimes the reason you're angry is because you're crossing people's boundaries. So in the intro, if y'all watched that, no, everyone don't. Look, go watch now. Don't make me mad. No, anger shows us that boundaries are being crossed that we're not okay with. But sometimes it's we're the ones crossing boundaries. So some of you are like, I know, why do I get like that? I know, I get worked up, I start feeling insecure, I just do too much, I just start, you know, trying to take too much on, and then before I know it, like I'm just saying these little, you know, snarky things. I'm sitting there trying to get back at someone and they didn't even do anything, just because I feel some kind of way because I cared too much or I gave too much or whatever, and now I'm trying to balance the situation to get back. So for you guys, you can take your control by recognizing that. Like, y'all, it's like, start with your emotions in general. How do you feel, boo-boo? No, not how do you feel about them when they act this and if they do this and no. You and your own feelings, regardless of what anyone else does around you. How do you feel about the situation? How do you feel about your own behavior? Right? How do you feel about the steps you're taking to nurture yourself, take care of yourself, own your own emotions and feelings? That's the biggest thing. Okay, you guys are getting ready to start a very deep relationship with your emotions, and that helps you in your magical superpowers, in your psychic abilities, your spiritual path, and definitely in your relationships. Because I see you guys have a lot of love. You have a big heart, and so you don't want to like push people away and distance people through your Mars kind of working subversively, your anger being boiling waters that could have been at rest, right? Just because of some other fears and things of that nature behind the scenes. It's that kind of mad, like, I don't know, it reminds me a lot of Cancer and Taurus Mars, how they can be sometimes, where it's like, no, or Scorpio Mars, oh my gosh, where it's like, I need to be clingy, you're not letting me be clingy to you, well, I'm mad and I'm gonna get you for this. It's like, no, that's why I need space, because you keep getting me for this. I just want my own popcorn. Okay, so your anger, your superpower is going to be your ability to look, y'all, this wouldn't be for everyone, but for yours, you want to learn how to turn the other cheek a bit more. Okay, you want to learn how to let people have their own feelings. That's your superpower, where people are gonna be like, wow, you're really okay that they're just over there, and you're like, yeah, because that's the cool part of Taurus. Taurus can be cool as a mother. Taurus is a sign of self-confidence, okay? And when they feel good about themselves, they really don't care how anyone else is reacting, just because they're so confident in who they are. They're like, yeah, that don't affect me. Doesn't affect me at all. Go ahead. So that is your guys's superpower, is to get to the point where you're comfortable in who you are and how you feel, and that you're no longer triggered by others. Your Mars is your business. Your anger is your business. Okay, it's here to help you out and express and release. It doesn't need to be hidden, but it doesn't need to be running the show in all these kind of cray ways, right? Your anger doesn't need to speak for your sadness, for your abundance of love, for your worry, for your indecision. I feel like your anger can talk for all your other emotions. It's just like out there with a mega horn, and it's like, what? get out of here. Well, ain't nobody mad, okay? I was just sad because, you know, I thought I made a fool of myself at dinner. Ain't nobody mad. Calm down. So that could be a thing. Right now, your anger is kind of running the show, even if it seems like it's not. All right? It's a good buddy to have, but sometimes they need to chill out. So for you guys, wrangling it in a bit and having more personal boundaries with yourself and holding yourself accountable to those within your relationships is really going to help empower you, and it's going to make your relationships way healthier, and it's going to open you up to all those emotions you want to feel that the low-key operating anger is actually keeping you from expressing. All right, so that's what I see for you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, for those of you that chose number 3 with the Selenite not sphere, Selenite moon half, let's see, how can you make anger your superpower, transmuting your anger into an empowerment for yourself? Let's see here. I'm gonna do live draws today like I do on the live readings. Go ahead and check me out, the Kiki with Hemi sessions that I do. I'm HemiLoah, Bohemia, for those that is confusing too. We have the Ace of Swords reversed, we have the Four of Cups reversed, we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, let me grab some cartomancy cards here. How can those who chose number 3, the Selenite half, make anger their superpower? All right, here we go. Got some jumping off. We have the 8 of Spades, the Jack of Diamonds, and what more? The 2 of Clubs again. Okay. I felt that there would be at least one repeat card in these. Another group got that as well, the 2 of Clubs. Okay. And let's see, one more card from the Next World Tarot. Oh, there it goes. All right, 2 cards. These 2 cards were both in 2 different of the other readings. Okay. So, how can you make anger your superpower here? I'm gonna scoot that up so you can see a little bit more pumpkin. Okay. You guys need to say no more. That's what it is, but not out of fear. Not that no, nothing's good enough, or I'm just gonna stay here and I'm brooding and so no to everything. It's not that kind of no. This is where you actually realize you have a yes and a no to say. Okay, you guys need to know that you have decisions that you can make, and it's okay if people get mad because they're just expressing themselves. They can have emotions. Let them feel, let them live. Let them live their best life. Okay, and you are allowed to have your emotions and feelings. Okay, so if you need to say, you know what, I got angry with what you just did, the answer is no now. Boom, switch it. Just think of it as a little switch. Nope, simple as that. Boom, it's no now. I'm not saying yes no more to that. I'm mad. I'm mad. You got me worked up. Now, of course, anger is our reaction, and we do have a choice with that, and that's the thing. But you know, sometimes it's a good choice to go with what our anger is telling us. And I'm seeing this here. Sometimes you have so many different emotions, and you're calculating everybody's reactions and how should you feel. You might have Mars in an air sign where you think about, if you're angry, am I angry? Well, logically, should I be angry right now? And you're just like calculating, and it's like, look, you have this message coming to you about how you feel, this emotion, and it's pretty concrete. This Jack of Pentacles and Jack of Diamonds, and is giving you this information. It's input. So calculate that into your logical, you know, little calculations you're doing to see how you feel about this situation. And I feel like so many times you're frustrated or angry about something that happens, and it's like this: you're gonna go to the adventure park with somebody, right? Theme park, whatever. It's called Adventureland here, that's why I did that. And then somebody, they act out a character, they say something snarky on social media, and you say, oh, that's fine, no, they can come, no, I'm fine, like whatever, let's just go. And then before you know it, you're just in there mad, just mad. I don't know why I want to say mad as a racehorse. I guess maybe they get mad. You're just angry. You want to take off out the gate. All right, so while they normally say don't make decisions out of anger, for you clarifying that you do in fact feel angry in the first place so that later on you're not stuck in situations and deals and partnerships and things with people that you actually can't stand or still are holding grudges against, will be a very good situation for you. For instance, I'm even getting like someone going to a car dealership and maybe the person is really insulting and that, you know, get your anger up internally, but you're like, you know what, whatever, let me just, it's not a big deal, maybe because of your money or finances, or you're like, well, there could be many different reasons. You don't listen to that anger, and then you go ahead and you get involved with this deal, and then you end up regretting it later on. So a lot of you, whereas the last group was kind of like anger was the bullhorn that wanted to talk for all the emotions, you guys are kind of the opposite. You'll let all your other emotions talk and not anger, and you'll try to let it not be anger that's coming up that is a concern or that is wanting to speak in a situation. If you don't feel like it is practical, if you don't feel like it's efficient, or it would be well received. But your anger is like, look, you're missing out on a lot of wisdom, because I'm trying to tell you how people are. I'm trying to tell you, you know, when people are coming incorrectly. And so then you end up having to maintain situations where you are, you know, in a standoff or having to do some false diplomacy in order to keep playing the game to get your money or whatever it is, because you didn't listen to that initial, you know, frustration, anger that came up about a situation or person. Okay, I feel like a lot of you turn down opportunities as well. So this is another thing. Some of you, your anger is tapping into other emotions like jealousy and resentment, and it's just like breeding things because you don't utilize it. And so instead of being like, man, I'm mad that I haven't gone out there and achieved what I want, you might turn that against other people and feel like, oh, they took my opportunity, I could do that better than them. Why do they get that and why don't I? So you could use your anger in a way right now to keep yourself feeling like validated that you haven't achieved as much, and keeping yourself validated and being fearful. Anger is like, what do I look like being used for that? I'm an active, powerful emotion. Shoot, if you're mad, then catch up with the game. Okay, get out here. Yes, anger is like, if you're mad, get out here, get your head in the game then. Okay, you ever see an athlete like that? They get mad on the sidelines and they come back like, oh boy, she's about to tear it up. Get me in the paint, right? It's a new look. But if they sit there crying around on the sidelines, they're mad, right? But they're gonna cry around about ref, what? Well, he got new sneaks on. What do you expect? Come on now. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for that. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for that. Anger trying to pretend like it's just sad and, oh, I didn't have the opportunity. If he would have let me run down to the basket first, I could have had that. No, if you mad, then be big mad about it, but do something about it. Okay, you have so many opportunities, so many different ways your life could go if you would utilize that energy as an investment in yourself. Like, damn, I'm about to invest in myself. I'm so mad. Like, it's making me think of Jay-Z, where he says he could have had he had an opportunity. He says it different because it's in his song, but he's talking about how he could have bought in Dumbo, he could have bought this building, right? And for like what was it, 1 or 2 million, and now it's worth like 40 million or something. He's like, guess how I'm feeling, Dumbo, right? So, but instead of sitting there crying around about it, go and make better investments and use that information, right? Like, you can sit there and just cry about that all day long, the opportunities missed. Like, yes, defend yourself, make better decisions about who's around you so people don't take advantage of you. But by all means, don't sit there on the tuchus and, you know, not have the chutzpah to go and do what you need to do. All right, put that fire to the metal, okay, or whatever they say. Forge ahead. Look, I'm gonna do my Pisces metaphors where you're like, okay, Bohemian, stop, we get it. All right, that's the thing. So allow anger to be in your arsenal or in your paint palette, to speak up and to let you know, like, man, I'm mad that we didn't meditate today. Let's get on. Let's go meditate. Woo! I'm seeing these lotuses here. Like, get up there and catch up to what you feel like you've been missing out on. And also let it, you know, use it to give the clap to anybody else who's purposely trying to box you out or, you know, keep you in a fearful place. All right. And I will say that too. I could have said it in the intro because it applies to all, but you know, people who have gotten used to thriving and being successful off of our fear of showing that we're angry about something, they don't like when we show anger, and they might talk a lot of shit. And this is saying, hold your ground about it. If you know it's right for you to express it, if you know that it's right for you to take actions based on the fact that you're angry because something happened that should not have happened or that was not acceptable, don't let someone try to talk you out of it or act like your anger ain't nothing. Oh, when you ain't mad anymore, da 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 da. No, I know my anger now. I know what my anger means, and I have clarity with my anger. I'm not just in a fog making, you know, random decisions. So some of you have been like that. Your anger is like, no, I want to have clarity. We need to have that clarifying kind of anger. Oh, I'm mad. Clarifying anger is when someone comes to hurt your kid and you see that shit clear as day. Oh, we crystal clear. We crystal clear that I'm mad right now and I'm going to act on it. Okay. So there's a difference than if we're just like, I don't know what's going on. If someone comes for me, are they not? Let me just beat everyone up. Boom, 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 boom. With my Ninja Knight license I got online. 3 for 50 cents on eBay. Okay, like that's not the kind of, we don't want that 50-cent eBay anger. That doesn't do anybody any good. But that clarity anger, you know, and now like I said, sometimes anger can feel like clarity. I know some people are going to say that until afterwards. This is why I'm saying get to know your anger and how it works. It is a relationship that's trying to be developed right now. All right, it's like literally trying to talk to you, like, you just gonna sit here and let that person treat you like this? Don't you? I feel like your anger actually explains things to you. Like your anger is like, you really gonna let that person come in your house and set that example treating you that way in front of your children? Like your anger sits there in monologues and you'll just be like, I don't know if I should show anger. Let me make an excuse for them. Your anger is like, really? Are you kidding me? Now I'm really mad. So listen to that. Listen to all that information. Listen to all those different factors your anger is pointing out. Like, you know what? That is messed up. That is messed up. Why do I come up in here and my family treat me this way? This makes no sense. No, I am mad, and I am mad on all of those accounts that you just pointed out, anger, because that is completely correct, and I need to check my boundaries, and I need to stand up for myself in this situation. So your anger is going to give you information like that, and once you learn how to interact with your anger, it's going to become that superpower, because it's going to have your back. It's like, man, it's got your six, okay? And you're going to understand clearly when you're just having a temper and being pissy, and when there's some real stuff going on that you need to address. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you again on another one. All right, for those of you that chose number 4 with the rattle, I'm telling you, this is the perfect day for me to do this. Like, my head's hurting from these astrology aspects. I was in a horrible mood earlier because puppy was in a horrible mood earlier, and baby's been in a horrible mood. Even when she tried to take a nap right now, she woke up mad. I'm just like, this astrology needs to back off. But I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna make this a superpower. We're about to transmute this energy. Bam, bada bing, bada boom. So for those of you that chose number 4 and the rattle, what are ways that you can transmute this energy and make anger your superpower? We're doing a live shuffle. If you like that style, definitely check out our live Kiki with Hemi sessions. I usually do them pretty much every day. All right, we have the Jack of Spades. We have the King of Spades. And we have the 5 of Clubs. So good thing that I utilized the deck, as some cards have been repeating today. You know, the whole deck instead of doing separate piles from different cards. So I just go with my intuition. Hashtag Pisces, y'all. Okay, the next set of cards. How can those who picked option 4 make anger their superpower? How can those who picked option number 4 make anger their superpower? Okay. Ooh, y'all's head probably hurts. You be big mad sometimes. We got the Ace of Swords reversed again, the Ace of Wands, and the Tower. Like literally, like some of the 3 cards I would look for when talking about anger and, you know, that kind of stuff. And here we go. All right, we're gonna have one more card from the Next World Tarot. Oh, I'll get that in frame, y'all, just a minute. Okay. How can number 4 transmute their anger? Queen of Wands, baby. Okay, here we go. We got some Mercury and Leo over here, Mercury and Aries, Sagittarius, 5th house, 9th house, 1st house, aspecting the Sun, Jupiter. Okay. All right, surprised this didn't come up under the little lion. So yes, y'all can have, some of y'all have moons in fire signs too, or Mercury's in fire signs, or just fire dominant. Wow. I think you guys know. You're probably like, I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever I want with my anger. It's kind of like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like strikes a match. All of a sudden, the whole freaking Amazon's on fire. Protect Amazonia, hashtag. It's just like, it takes off. It takes off. And then everyone else is like, didn't you see that you were standing by gasoline? And you're like, you mean like gasoline I poured? Like, it was like 5 minutes ago. So, and before you know it, whoosh, everything's on fire, okay? Yes, everything. 5 of clubs. There can be a very combative energy, y'all. You like to spar with people. See, some of you like to fight. That's the truth. Look, what I see it in the cards. Don't try to argue with me. You're just arguing with yourself over here because the throne of determination. You're like, I'm not angry. I'm determined to get my way. Okay. All right. You just over here. It's like, and it's like for you guys, you flash a little bit of temper to be like, I dare you to not give me my way. And then you can see the full temper. How about that? And people are just like, okay, ma'am, here's your ketchup. Like, damn, we gotta do it like that. So I feel like a lot of you definitely, have surveillance. You have that side of Mars that will be, you know, people forget that Mars is the strategist, right? It's part of war. So they know how to sit there and study people, learn their weaknesses, learn their tender spots, all that kind of stuff. You like, you guys are like the sibling that knows how to poke the person just in the way that their other sibling in the way that's going to make them lose their mind, and just not like that was the last straw, you know. But then the one who loses their mind is the one who gets in trouble by mom, and you're like, but they just poked me for that 4,767 time. And you're just like, ha 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 ha, success, right? Y'all got some, whoo, y'all got some tempers. Y'all got some destroy people tempers over here, okay? And so the thing is, you just need air and space. You have to go claim your own space, because your boundaries, you know, anger comes up when our boundaries are crossed. Y'all see everybody as crossing your boundaries because you see yourself as like owning the world and the world being your stage. Let's be honest. I don't care how shy and timid and woo-to-boo, spiritual, zen, how many times you meditated today. That's the real tea when it comes down to the energy under here. So basically, if anyone gets something you ain't got, ooh, you mad. If anybody gets, you know, unless you volunteer to support someone and put a shining light on them. But if they just go and get that all themselves and you don't, and you're in lack and you feel that you're in lack, oh, it's a problem. It's a problem. There's a jealousy, frustrated, chip on the shoulder kind of energy that is here. Okay, that see look, trying to hide that shoulder back there. We see it. We see it. This is the person. This reminds me of like Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin and Diana Ross. Okay, all Aries, right? I don't know what Patti LaBelle is, but I know I know the other two are Aries, right? Like if when I'm on stage and you're talking to me as a legend, oh, we good. But the moment that I feel slighted, or like you came out of the character role I put you in, oh, I'm mad. You're gonna hear it now. I don't know her, right? This is that kind of energy. This is those divas, and a lot of those divas are Aries and Leo with like Scorpio moons. That's the vibe here. So this is saying you have to be responsible to get what you need yourself, okay? Because if you a lot of times your temper and frustration comes out of jealousy or assuming that people have what you deserve, and that is like, you're never going to be happy if that comes that way, and you're always going to be tearing others down internally, if not, you know, externally telling them that. And the thing is, if you try to hide this, you're going to draw friends who do this, because the universe will bring people. If we have a huge energy field, it's law of attraction. You're going to be sent people who do that to trigger it, so you'll admit that you're that way, okay? So some of you constantly try to get people around you who have a bigger, badder temper than you so that you can pretend that you don't. And I see that with Aries, like when fire signs date each other, usually that will happen. And then one of them will like kind of pretend to be more timid in that union, but to everyone else, they're still like the blazing fire sign. But it gives them the feeling that they can be like the vulnerable one because they found someone else who has a bigger temper than them. Okay. Yes. Because I feel like when you're mad, it's that like, don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me to walk away. Don't tell. Some of y'all just raging. You could be in the parking lot. Okay, that's why I'm feeling the Leo moons. Leo moons, something about parking spaces and them thinking that it was theirs because they saw it from the highway before they got off the ramp. And that's their parking space. Whoo, some of you got it like that. All right, like I said, some of you hide it well. You definitely can be Aries moons because I've talked about this. Aries moons can pretend like they're Libras and they pretend like they're so Pollyanna nice, but behind the scenes, if they feel like you're getting any attention, look, I got a lot of these around. Well, not anymore. Okay, I had to cut them off. Okay, extended family, married, and they find a way to get back at you later because all along they were angry because they weren't expressing their fire and the attention they wanted, and so you didn't even know, and they thought you was taking their place, and so they came for you. All right, so this for you, your anger is saying, you know, are you really, is there really only one spot? Okay, because this is that kind of lonely at the top diva energy. Okay, this is that. Okay, so you're gonna blackball everybody, you're going to be mad, like what's that gonna do? And then you're at the top. I mean, it works for some people. Okay, I don't forget how Beyonce used to be. Shoot, we remember how many people got stepped on. Okay, but it's like, or you could just be like, you know, other people who don't do that and get very, very successful, and not have to watch your back and not have to go through tumultuous relationships and pain, and, you know, always have to deal with the guilt trips of that in your relationship. So I feel like for you, I'm like, sorry, you have a big energy field around this. So it's taking us a while to wade in deep. All right. I feel like for, okay, there it is. A few of you still have thorns in your side, like that thorn in the lion's paw, about not feeling good enough. There's the root of a lot of your anger. Okay, at some point you felt that you weren't good enough, you weren't gonna make it, you couldn't. Someone might have talked trash to you. Maybe when you were little you said, oh, I'm gonna make it one day, I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna be known, I'm gonna be successful, and you were talked down and shut down in that. And now it's like people can't give you enough space. You still feel violated and like people are coming for what's yours. Okay, and you might draw to yourself situations that validate that. I would totally believe it. But it is about, like, your energy is solar here and everything evolves around the sun. So I feel like you're drawing in sometimes shady people, catty people, or just keeping those dynamics because it works for you. Because then when you want to blow your temper, well, they're shitty anyways. They're not like a real friend. You know what I mean? That kind of energy. Or it's their fault. Or they're the ones who are the big bad wolves. They have even worse temper than me. Or I know how to trigger their temper so that people don't know that I was the one that was mad in the first place. Okay, and some of you are like, well, I don't want to hear all that. I already know all that. Da 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 da. Somebody whose energy fits this, actually, the reviews that they gave back to somebody else of my thing was like, you know, oh, well, we already know what the wound is. We don't need to hear that. Da 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 da. Yeah, sometimes you need to, so that we can look at it, okay, and see. And I feel like it's not so hidden, you guys. I feel like other people see these tactics and things, and it's not giving you the kind of respect that you think. Okay, I feel like there's people around you who they're watching just because it's like funny and comical that you pop off or something, and it's not out of like respect and true support. There's a lot of like haters and like fake people, frenemies that it draws. There's a lot of just straight out antagonists and people who are on a low vibration with their anger that it draws. And yeah, I feel like there's nothing wrong with needing to be seen and have space and be successful and have big energy and have the attitude like, you don't mess with me, you come for me and I'm gonna handle it. But it's just not in the best of ways, in the healthy ways, which you're like, hello, that's why I'm on this video. So I'm just talking through and validating those things so that we can clear the air on them. So I feel like connecting with what your desires really are. It's like for you, root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus. So root chakra, where did you feel destabilized? Where did you feel like you're barely holding it together? If someone was to see, again, behind the scenes with that diva, what was her original wound, or, you know, gender neutral, that made her feel like if she didn't make it big, if the whole world didn't love her, if everyone didn't listen to her command, and if she wasn't totally number one, that she wasn't anything. Okay, what was that? Whatever that is for you, it could be a memory of being booed off stage, it could be something hurtful a parent said, it could be anything. But I feel like for a lot of you, there's a defining moment where it was just like it gets triggered. It's like getting hit in the teeth. Okay, healing those scenarios or that moment is very important for you. Then you have your desires. In changing our wounds, we have to change our desires, and that's something that people forget. Mars is very desire ruled. Our anger is based on our desires because it shows us our boundary violations. But if we don't know what we want with our boundaries, how do we know if we've been violated? Okay, and that can happen sometimes because we don't know what we want. We don't know how to wish for happy, healthy relationships. We don't know when we've been violated until it's too late, and then we blow up. And that's how you guys have been operating. Okay, and I'm noticing all this yellow and orange and red in the cars, and I'm even wearing like a rusty reddish orange, like a burnt orange shirt with a yellow over it. Y'all, I just threw a jacket on because I was chilly, but it complements, right? It's like this color palette, it's like in the colors. So I feel like those could be good meditative colors for you, to have a more subdued rusty oranges and reds and like a yellow, connecting with what your desires are. Like, okay, if you take away the wounds, what is it that you want? I mean, it's good to want to be motivated to stunt on people who didn't believe in us, but beyond that, okay, beyond just sheer ego, you know, you can have two people who want the same success but for completely different reasons, and one's going to be very fulfilled and one's going to be very empty. And I feel like there's an empty hot air way that your anger is driving, and it's saying, no, I could be more fulfilled, all right, but I need to know what your desires really are. I need to know why you defend so hardcore some of these wounds that we could just get rid of. It's like these old stink bandages. Like, why are we defending those? Like, okay, I'll keep going after everybody, but why? Like, why don't we get rid of those? Why don't we build a nice house, a nice community for ourselves? Okay, y'all might need a whole little, you know, 1,000 acres or something for your energy, what you want, our whole little mansion, and then I'll defend that, okay, with all of our, you know, our precious loved ones inside and our whole little life and community. That now, that would make sense. How about I protect something like that? So your anger wants you to protect things that have a reason to protect them. Okay, it's not saying that you're invaluable. It's saying some of the wounds and the defense mechanisms and the desires that you're portraying yourself as having, it's almost like you've built yourself up into this character. Some of you are social media personalities. Okay, you could be YouTubers or whatever, and it's like, okay, but who are you really though? Okay, and what do you really want? Because, you know, anger, I feel like your anger is almost exhausted. Like, it almost wants to burn out, like just to protect vanity, just to put on a show for everyone, because that's what gets views, because people are used to me over here acting, you know, clowning around like I'm mad about this, that. It's searching for more meaning behind its usage is what I feel for your anger, for it to become a superpower. You have anger, that a big enough energy field, that means that you could be that protective of people. You could be a warrior. You could be out here really defending some causes, because you can, here's the truth, you can take the heat. All right, and if you think you don't, you have no idea. You can take the heat. So instead of taking it in abusive relationships, or, you know, just to be scandalous for the sake of scandal or something, it's like you could really be out here doing something, right? Think of celebrities who are like, any press is good press, and they're just trashy for no reason, like, you know, just mean and nasty to everybody, just to, they just need the camera on their face because that's the only time they're alive, right? Versus people who go out there and are really, you know, they can have fun, live their lives too, but they make sure that they're doing something with their life. They mean something to other people, because they're not tearing people down, right? And so they use their ability to take that frustration, that shade from other people, they use that to transmute it into being able to do good works, right? They know how to transmute energy that comes their way. You could be somebody who can be very good at transmuting shade and hate that comes your way into protection for yourself. All right, like that's something right there. You have the ability to be in front of masses of people and become more empowered, not out of spite and out of hatred and that low vibrational kind of stuff, but out of just because you're passionate, because you believe in what you're doing, because you're full of love, and you know that nobody can steal what is yours. Okay, so this is like, we want to see the positive aspects of the fire energy. And you know, you're always gonna have people who watch and look and listen and stuff, but they can be, you could have a lot more friends, a lot more honest friends and connections here. Hi, baby. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys. That's your anger wants to become, you know, this mass potential to really go out here and just be a warrior heart out here.